that doesn't make any sense.
All right, on that note,
conversation.
we're in the middle of talking about memes and GIFs.
Not memes. Maymays.
Maymays?
Say it right, maymays.
Yeah, I have an Aunt Maymay. No? Aunt Maymay? That's kind of a black name, right?
That's
Maymay?
a very black name.
Like Mimi, Kiki, BB. It's like we take black girls' names. That's pretty much what you do.
That's you.
Be careful. Be careful.
know, that's
Trump's
why I
president.
stopped.
Trump's
That's why I
president.
stopped.
She's like, I don't want to ruin my business.
I have nothing to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, welcome. We're in the couch in the middle of a moment, very sentimental moment. Welcome to the Curate Podcast. This is like episode 6, 7, or 8. I don't know which one I'm going to put out, but welcome. We are here in a new location. We're in downtown Fort Myers. Shouts out to the Wedding Collective. We're at First Street, right across from the Lodge. It's pretty cool. We're excited. We got a new set. We got some new guests going on today. We got a new guest host today. So, before I introduce our guest, I'm going to introduce the guest host because it's female empowerment. You know, it's Women's Month right now. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even know. You didn't even know. What kind of woman are you two? You don't even know what's Women's Month. You can talk. You can say something. You don't have to talk. No, you don't say anything
No, you
yet.
finish your introduction.
So, introduction, guest host, a good friend of mine. I met her. Did I meet you last year?
Yep, August. It was
I met her
one of the
last
hottest
year.
weddings
I
ever.
worked with a lot of photographers in my line of work, and she has been one of the coolest, definitely top 3 coolest photographers I've ever worked with. We've actually gained a good friendship over the past couple months, and I wanted her on this podcast because she is freaking hilarious and a very down-to-earth person, and she gives me $1,000 every 2 weeks to watch her 2 dogs. I totally made it.
Never. That's not.
I would never watch dogs. It's Melissa. You know, everyone give it up for Melissa. Let's make some noise for Melissa. What's up? How you doing? You doing good?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Also, we're gonna have some guests just like looking behind you
I know
and
there was
stuff.
a really old dude behind me earlier, and
Yeah.
he was all like really interested in everything going on
Yeah,
here.
it's gonna be super fun, super
But I
weird.
can't see them, so it's okay.
You can't see them
Because I would get super distracted.
Yeah, you definitely have ADHD.
I would also like start like doing weird shit.
like miming, like there's a glass there.
Well, there is glass there.
Oh, wow, you are smart. You was kind, you was important.
You is beautiful.
So you're a photographer and all that good stuff. We'll talk a little bit more about you later. Stop being selfish.
So rude.
Next up, we have our special guest this week. This is my first time meeting you in real life.
Yes, hello.
I've watched your pictures a lot. I've put them on my wall.
You've watched
Thank
her
you.
pictures.
Yeah, I have a
appreciate
collage.
that.
A collage
Oh,
of you.
that's so creepy. Thanks.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Watched your pictures.
I've watched them.
Like a virtual stalker.
I've washed them.
You've
You've washed and watched.
not like I've watched your videos or I've seen your pictures. I've watched your
Like
pictures.
I've peered out into you. And so it's Lauren
Yes.
Dufault.
Actually, it's pronounced Dufault. It's the
Dufault.
French Canadian
I like
last name.
default.
Yeah, Lauren
It's like
Dufault.
what's the default? You know, like
How is it
Yo,
spelled?
there's something wrong with you, right? No, that's the definition of default.
yes.
Something wrong. Yeah, something wrong.
And
So,
Oh, got it.
Oh, okay. Welcome to the show. Give it up for Lauren. Yeah, what I'm saying. You gotta give it up for yourself.
Oh,
Give it
okay,
up for
yay.
yourself. Self-love. It's Women's Month.
oh yeah, I knew that
Jen,
shit, right?
you made that up. It's
Yeah, every day
been
is
not-
Woman's Day in my life. So
It really is Women's Month.
Actually, no. So it was International Women's Day last
it
week.
was.
How
yes.
did you feel about that?
I don't know. Like I just said, I celebrate the fact that I have a vagina every day.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I
Me
get up
too.
in the morning, I'm like, you know what? Thank you. You're so great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep watching you.
But there's one
Washing my hair at the
Oh
same time.
God! You were like, okay, I just
What?
got it.
there's one part of the month though where you're not that happy that you don't
You know,
care.
I don't care.
You celebrate that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Celebrate
You
the
know,
fact
it's
that I
an-
don't want to talk to anybody.
All right.
Like,
And you have a
You
good
know?
reason.
Right?
People don't want to talk to you either.
Look,
Usually.
I'm glad I'm a man.
chocolate.
Is it all right? So is that a real thing? Like, your emotions are really out of whack, or is it a little bit of an exaggeration? Like,
No, there are hormonal. It's
Yeah.
actually like anatomically hormone shit is happening.
using big words, what does that mean?
well,
Anatomically,
human
like
anatomy.
a body, anatomy.
Oh, good job. Anatomy.
Anatomy.
It's like the third time we've done the robot today, so that's a thing,
okay.
apparently.
whatever.
It's
you know?
it's
It's whatever.
totally-
So in
That's how I
case
wash
you
my
didn't
hair.
know, you're watching like why do I care about who Lauren is? Default.
I want to know how to spell your name.
Dufault.
Wait, can we? I can't. I
Yeah,
need to know how to spell it.
All right, Dufault. So it's
Okay.
pronounced like Willem Dafoe. But
Oh, you
it's
related?
spelled. I tell people that.
Except for it's spelled. Isn't
It's
Defoe
spelled differently. Well, no,
D-E-F-O-E?
I reached back into the lineage of my family, and it used to once be spelled like his. Somewhere along the way,
Someone
I think they like
changed that.
switched it up, and I'm like, motherfucker, I could. Can I say
Yeah,
that?
you-
Okay, okay.
We're not on the radio, dude.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
1055. No, I'm sorry.
Quick, bleep
Well,
it out.
anyways, it used to be spelled like his family.
Right.
And somewhere along the way, someone in my line was like, you know what? I'm going to just switch this up. And they did. So
So you're a
Now-
comedian.
I am. I've been doing it for almost over a year.
Oh, so you're new. Like this is like new.
Yo, I am like into it.
Holy
into the grind.
shit.
Yeah.
Yo.
Okay.
I love it.
A year. What?
How does it happen?
How do you? One day you're like, I want to be a comedian. Like, how does that work?
Okay, so I was always growing up. I was always the crazy girl that like had all that energy and I could never store it in any place in my life. My mom put me in swimming when I was 4 years old. The doctor's like, she has too much energy. Make her do something.
Sure.
So I swam, and then in middle school,
She like this threw you in a pool and like swim.
No, seriously, no. My mom did that neighborhood pool. She's like, you know what? Fuck you. And I'm like, "Meh."
Swim, bitch, swim.
That's what my mom swears she did with us. She's like, well, I just threw you in.
That's
and I'm
how
like,
you gotta
I'm sure
do
you did.
it. Sink or swim, bitches. So,
You started swimming in high school or
no,
like
4 years old.
Wow,
4
you are a
years old.
terrible
Oh, you
listener.
just like I am.
I started
Terrible
swimming,
listener.
and then around middle school, I was like, I want to be in a play, and mom was like, no, you're not. And so I
What play
swam-
was it? You know what play?
Sound of Music.
My favorite.
Yeah.
All
Never
time.
heard of
All
it.
t-
Well, there's sound, and then
It's
there's
your
the
favorite though.
You're
all lives
lying.
matter.
You're lying,
All,
right?
all lives. I've never heard of it.
Wow.
I've heard of Rent.
We are not. I could start singing that. for you.
5,000, 2,500, 6,000.
525,600 minutes. Oh, 525,000 moments so dear.
All right, remix. We just remixed. Rent.
We might
Get it.
side job, side gig. That was really good. Okay, sorry. So 4 swimming, then plays, Sound of Music, fuck you, and then
yeah,
what
my
happened?
mom's like, fuck you. And then
Again.
I graduated college, went through this phase where I didn't have swimming, my self-identity, I was kind of lost.
Right.
And I moved down here, and I had a roommate, and it was the week Robin Williams died.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so he passed away. Oh, my gosh. And I remember, like, sitting in my room, and I walked outside. I was like, am I going to be a lifeguard forever? Because I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Right.
And then my roommate's like, you should be a comedian. You're so funny. And I was like, no, that's like a dream that I dream about, you know,
Right,
like
right.
that's my alternate life, like if I did something. And I just remember, I was like, you know what? And then I saw a bald eagle like fly through the sky. Swear to God, no, it might have been a hummingbird.
Did you
but I
really
was
see a bald-
eagle,
It might have
like,
been a
to
hummingbird.
me, like, and it's like, yo, bro, do some comedy, bro. And I was like, why do you know Spanish? Like, so I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna do it. Seriously, I was sitting outside and this bird flew by, and I was like, that's Robin Williams telling me to do comedy.
In Spanish?
Exactly. You know him. He's crazy.
He's crazy guy.
You know him.
Right? But
Robin.
I think it was that moment where I was like, if I don't do something like this, I'm never gonna, like, I'm always gonna regret it.
Yeah.
So the next day I went to Off the Hook Comedy Club,
Off the
and
Hook.
yeah, I started doing that, and ever since then it's been like a buildup of obsession for me. And now it gets to the point where even when I'm talking to you guys in my head, I'm like thinking about what can be funny
What can be
and you know,
funny.
like how to make people laugh. And since that wasn't funny, how could I twist it in a way that I could use it on stage?
Wow.
And even it's like the little things in my life, like going through a breakup or getting fired from a job
Sure.
or having a fight with my parent. It's always something that now I look back and I'm like, how can I use that to relate to everybody on stage and to just make everybody's day better?
Right.
Period. Point blank. That's what I want to do. That's
Wow.
my goal in life, is to take your laughs and then spew them right back out at you.
Right. So, okay. So you said you went off to the comedy club.
Yeah.
Did you practice? Like you just walked up on stage? What was the first stand-up
Oh
experience
my
like?
gosh. First stand-up experience. This was when Off the Hook was in Fort Myers. It's now down in Vanderbilt
Okay.
in Naples. And I like completely blacked out. I think I talked about like moving to Florida and some construction worker next to my apartment or whatever. I like blacked out.
Damn.
Couldn't tell you. I, like,
Blackout good or bad? Like what do you mean like blackout?
blackout, like I had too many drinks, first of all, which is fine. Like, I was, like, way too drunk.
Sure,
and then,
sure.
It's like, in your head, you have everything you want to say. You're like, I'm going to do it this way and that way and that way. And then you get up on stage, you're like...
Really?
Yeah, and it takes a lot of control to be able to, you know, take your voice, which you are with your friends, and you know, your personality, and take that and transfer it onto stage in the real way and let everyone know.
Yeah.
They call it finding your voice in comedy, which it can translate to anything.
You got to find your voice in anything, right?
And yeah, so it's all about the first few years, you know, being yourself on stage and letting people know that you are yourself. Like, I like to treat it like, you know, you're at dinner with your family, or you're hanging out with your friends. Like, I always tell myself, like, these people are my friends, and even if they're not, they're going to be my friends.
So how do you...
They will know me.
It's like, because people tell me all the time that I'm funny, and I'm like, can I be a comedian? I don't think I could. Because when I try to be funny, then all of a sudden I'm not funny. So how do you keep that natural funniness that you have and translate it and do it every night or every week or every month? Like, how do you intentionally be naturally funny? It's like you have to try to be comfortable every time you're on. How do you do that? Like, is there...
Well, for example, like, I had a few shows last week where each audience is different. Every single audience is different, so you have to walk in and read the audience. Like, there's that vibe in the air, you know. For example, you have a show in Naples, you know, they're a bit older.
Are you from Naples? Where are you from?
I'm from upstate New York, actually.
Upstate.
The Rock,
so,
Rochester.
Like white New York. That's what we call it.
The Rock.
The
Rock. Yeah, that's what we call it.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So you're from white New York.
Yes. I thought diversity was like for not white people in my school walking around, like, being busted from the city. I was like, so diverse. And then I moved to the South in North Carolina. I was like, that was real diversity.
Right.
I am thankful for where I grew up.
Cool.
At the same time, you know, as my life has progressed, I'm like, I did live in a bubble. I really did. I lived in a little snow bubble.
The Rock.
Oh, the Rock.
The Rock. That sounds like a cult, like a place where you go to, like, join a cult.
They have these things called garbage plates up there. They're solid. You know, what you got to do is you got to get really high or really drunk, or both, and then you go, it's either called P-Hots, F-Hots, and then you go and it's like a mac salad with home fries, and you either got like hamburger, cheeseburger, hot dog, put it all on top of that, special meat sauce, ketchup, mustard, like everything in this little styrofoam. It's so good.
Sounds like a garbage.
Special meat sauce?
Yeah, it's like this spicy meat sauce.
Is that what you put in your hair? Is that what you're talking about?
I put the goat meat in my hair.
Depends on what position you're in, right? Wait, what?
She took it. You told her there were no limits. Like,
no limits.
No limits.
There's no limits on this podcast.
True story.
No limits.
I love it.
So, but I do honestly wonder, so even if your audience is different, you walk in with sort of a set list in your head, right? Like, you have jokes that are pre-written.
Yeah. When you first start doing comedy, you literally just, or anything, you know, you take everything and you throw it at the wall and see what sticks. Okay. So the longer you do that, more things are going to stick, and the more things that stick, the more you can play with, and then that's really kind of diving into, the longer you do it, the more you'll have an understanding of what joke won't work for. Like, I have a joke about grabbing pussy, right?
Yeah.
I can't say that to a room of Naples, you know, people, like, I can go to, like, Punta Gorda and be like, pussy! And they'll be like, yeah!
So you have to sort of cater to different audiences for what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you switch it up. So Off the Hook is like, what kind of jokes work over there? Like, oh, remember when you had all that money? Oh my god!
Well,
like
what? I mean,
see, that's why I'm not a comedian.
Yeah,
it does depend though. I mean, there are some comedians that they bring in the younger crowds and faces, but mostly it's. Don't mention Trump in Naples.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't mention
not a
Trump.
good idea.
Give me your best. Don't you hate when people? I'm doing what I feel like any comedian hates is
your
asking.
best impression?
Yeah, no, not even impression, but like, tell me a joke. Do you hate when people say, "Are you a comedian? Tell me a joke."
Oh my gosh, I hate that. I hate it. Oh my god, give me $1 and I'll tell you a joke. That's like asking for a photographer to be like, hey, take a picture of me.
That happens all the time, though, unless it doesn't.
Well,
you know?
Yeah, my least favorite thing is when a friend has their kid's birthday party and they're
like, I got him, bitch.
Yo, I ain't clocked in. I ain't clocked in.
and I'm not telling you a joke. No, if I have friends who have I have one friend who used to do this, their kids' birthday parties, and be like, bring your camera. And I'm like, I'm not.
Bring your camera to do what?
I am going to a party. I'm not,
Yeah.
even if it's for a 5-year-old, I will be all up in the bounce house. I'm not bringing.
Yeah, I have
my
this
camera.
friend who asked me to bring my speakers to her party.
That was me.
So
That's me, y'all.
you ass.
And you're doing it because you're such a good friend. I just need to make sure that the party's rocking. This guy By the way,
Bumpin'.
you're welcome to come to my birthday
Yay!
/ housewarming party. You guys are too over there.
And if you're listening,
score.
all of you listening, you guys are too.
That's not okay. So, who are your inspirations?
For comedy?
Yeah.
I think, like I mentioned earlier, Robin Williams, he was one of those, he inspires a lot of us outside of just comedy. Growing up with Jim Carrey, but lately I've been really concentrating on, the female comedians.
Sure.
Just random the other week. I like to take one and, kind of watch her
Sure.
style. And one is Catherine Ryan. She's actually Canadian. She lives in London, and she just has this style, just basic... but she's funny. And then there's also, obviously Amy Schumer. I watched her the other day.
She's controversial. I saw a meme.
she
I saw a
is.
meme the other day.
A meme!
I saw a meme the other day that was like, Amy Schumer is not funny. Amy Schumer is not. It was like on a chalkboard.
I feel like those
I
aren't.
hate
I
that.
feel like those aren't actually memes. Memes are when they're funny. That's just a
Well,
list
why,
of shit.
why,
text
why does
you
everybody
put
hate
on a
her
picture.
for? What is her thing?
Well,
Did you go to her show in Tampa?
no.
I didn't,
No,
but that was
I have
well,
no money.
half
I'm a starving artist.
Yeah.
Robin Noodles over here.
Well, you can reach out to her and be
Yeah.
like, I want to be like you. Can I come to your show? And
What's the deal with her? Why is she so controversial? do you
She's
think?
controversial. I think because she's a female in comedy. I think that's another thing that a lot of guys don't like funny girls. A lot of guys, and I'm not pointing you out, but I'm just saying a lot of guys.
I don't like funny girls. Don't be funny with me.
I'm gonna be real funny over her.
You think I'm laughing? No, I'm playing. Why do you feel like? Why don't you feel like guys like funny girls? Is it intimidating?
Actually, I did some research the other day about this. Yeah, it is. I did.
Did you
right?
Google?
I was like,
Whoa. So she Googled
Why
it for
do
what?
guys not like funny girls?
why did no one like me?
Cite your sources.
Remember when Google used to have "I'm feeling lucky"? Feeling lucky.
I'm never feeling like.
So you researched.
I did. It's but down to our body chemistry where it's men want to be funny in order to attract another mate, and women want a funny person. So it's just kind of ingrained in our.
Men want to feel funnier than women. They want to feel like the ones that they're making you laugh.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of ugly guys get some pretty girls by just being funny.
That's the world of comedy is men. It's a man's world, and women, are breaking through. Even oh my gosh, if I could meet anybody in the world, it'd be Joan Rivers, Lucille Ball, and Carol Burnett.
Okay.
If I could meet those three, obviously,
Sure.
it just it's come really far, but it's still not there yet. It's still considered a man's world. So we're just gonna vagina punch our way through the glass ceiling. Just
You're gonna be a part of it, and you gotta
take our pussies to the tap.
and you gotta scream like that as you do it.
Exactly.
Vagina punch! Should be like a Mortal Kombat.
It's like no
movie.
Street Fighter. It's like a Street Fighter. Hadouken!
A vagina!
We are the Pussy Posse.
You're part of that, apparently. She just dubbed us the Pussy Posse.
Can I get one of those hats? Can I get one of those hats? Like
the pussy hat?
the pussy hats things?
As long as I keep my ears warm.
Oh, speaking of that, what do you think about the Women's March and the whole thing? Both of y'all, what did y'all both feel about the Women's March? Would you like it? Even International Women's Day.
He's so animated, right?
like,
Did you like it?
I just wanted to know why I can't be excited, huh? Is
No,
that too
you
feminine?
did. No.
There's no gender roles in this bitch.
You are.
Okay.
I feel like you're attacking me.
No, I feel attacked
now.
first, though.
You know what? But I'm a female.
I'm a millennial, and I'm a snowflake, so...
Trigger warning. So let's talk about the women.
What do you feel about the women's... the pro-women's events and that vibe? What do you feel about it? Does it empower you? Does it make you feel weird? What?
Can I raise my hand?
yeah.
Okay. So I was I mentioned before International Women's Day because I didn't know anything about this, and I got no bullshit. I think I got 6 text messages from people that day with Happy Women's Day, memes and shit. And I was like, yo, it's not Christmas, y'all. Why are you sending me happy? I was really confused. And And then my husband actually sent me a Bitmoji, which, by the way, Bitmoji is literally like the God's gift.
The lamest thing I've ever seen. But go
First of all, you shut your mouth because that's
you spent
offensive.
all that time to create your avatar. Wow.
All that time? How long did I spend? Were you there?
I don't know.
No, solid 5 minutes.
Okay.
And
I learned mediation in middle school. If you need me.
I'm
can
over
sit
here
in the middle.
Anyway,
And how do you feel about this?
Anyway, he sent me this Bitmoji that said Happy International Women's Day or something, and I was just about to call him to tell him that I had just seen this shit on the news that people were like bitching about Women's Day, and I was just like, people just want something to complain about and something to stand behind and for. And like you said, I just feel like Women's Day is, if you want it to be Women's Day, that shit is today. You know, I don't need a day, and I like get why people do it, but you'll never see me out there like rah-rahing at the forefront of those things.
Why not though? Do you not feel? It's like even when just millennials go out and march for, even if it's like whatever rally it is, and then the baby boomers or the Generation X are like looking down, and it's like, oh, you're out there complaining, throwing a temper tantrum. Do you see it like that, or do you feel like it's really empowering to you?
No,
like,
I feel like it can be to that person. I think it's an individual thing. I think that for me, so my family is from Venezuela, which a lot of times.
All of a sudden, she just evolved into like a level 10 Pokemon. And my family's from Venezuela.
And then I get up and start salsa dancing in the corner.
My family is from Venezuela.
One time I said that
Holy God.
to the old school janitor at my high school. He's like, Minnesota? And I was like, no.
Same thing.
But multiple people that's what they hear. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Keep going.
Because I won't say Venezuela. Anyway.
Okay.
And
you anamorphed into a Spanish person.
And oh my God, animorphs. That could be a great topic. But in a country like that where you have real, actual, crazy oppression, like I don't know how much y'all know, but
wasn't there a hunger issue going on?
And there still is, and I mean I could go on, but I won't. The point being though, when I see my family members marching there because they can't get rice or eggs when they need it, that I see why you're doing it there. And so then when I see us, a much more advanced nation, of course, fighting for things that I understand that if we had not fought for things in the past, we wouldn't be where we are now. I totally get that. But I just think that my time is better spent doing something.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Like, I'm really proud of those people that I know that marched and did their thing.
Me too, absolutely.
And didn't cause a ruckus or anything. But I honestly, and I just learned this like months prior, I would rather be in the grind doing something that I find is very productive towards what I'm doing,
goals.
What I'm doing, and also like in terms of being a woman. And this again goes back to comedy. Like okay. First of all, no one called me and told me about the march. First of all, I was not invited. A, and then B, I spent the whole day I was just like writing and doing shit that is going to help me on stage later to get to that point where I can represent women in comedy.
Bettering yourself.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing is, I'm trying to think of, I'll give you a little secret bit I'm trying to work on is like thousands of years of oppression with women. We have come so far, and I don't think that, and again, there's a pocket of men that don't understand that, it's called Mother Earth for a reason, and women are very important. We are, like, and I hate those men that, like, try and put us down. So I do understand, like, walking for a reason, but I'm just going to be funny for a reason in my own, and it's all going to work.
I think it's a balance, and I think you both are saying some really important things, and I think a part of it, and it's like with, civil rights stuff, with minorities, it's, you want to look back and you want to look forward. You want to say, let's not forget, right? Because I think it's very easy to have people will tell you to like forget the past, like move on, right? Like look forward, like stop looking at the past. Well, no, we don't want to forget where we came from, but at the same time, you don't want to live there. We don't want to, like, we're not where we are. So people would always tell me, like, look how far we've come. We have a black president, right? Like, and that's a way that could be used as a way to like defer people from what's going on.
I hate when they say
right
that,
so like, oh, look at women, look who we have, like, whatever, and they try to use tokenism. So it's like finding someone that's doing something that's a woman or a black person and going, look, we're fine. Well, no, there's progress, but we're also not there. So it's like, look, like we need to go further, but we also don't need to stay back there, you know?
I agree with you. I think the fact that we're mentioning that that's a black president and that's a funny woman, and you know, like, it's still targeting the fact that, like, that's not just a good president or a funny person.
Right.
You know, it can.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Absolutely.
Can I ask, for all when Black Lives Matter was really a big deal, did you go out to any of those kinds of marches, or, you know, because I feel like that is kind of the equivalent in a way of asking.
Sure.
The
No, that's a
question.
that's a great question. That's why you're Melissa. That's why you're here. That's why you're here.
Thank you.
No, it's a really good question, because I would almost echo a little bit about what you just said about you know, you working on yourself, and you felt like what you were doing was bettering yourself, therefore it was empowering you, therefore the future to be able to. So, like, for me, I have a very good relationship, like, history-wise, with law enforcement, with even people with racial relations. Also, I'm very much so, like, a little bit apathetic towards certain things. Like, I could probably have a guy call me the N-word and laugh at him because I'm seeing him as ignorant. It's not a reflection of me. So, like, I think I'm very much an enigma as far as I don't think I'm an outlier when it comes to, like, some of the racial relations, because one, when I moved from New York to Cape Coral, I literally, like, it was actually a great thing for me that I was around a bunch of white people, because it opened my eyes to a little bit more opportunity, it opened my eyes to more culture, right? And it also gave me black privilege. I know you're like, what the hell's black privilege? But black privilege is like when I started reading AR books in school, and then my teacher was like,
AR books.
Yeah. Accelerated reading. Hey, we're going to the top. Harry Potter part 10.
You're reading AR? Right.
So what happened was, like, for me, it was like the teachers and the students didn't expect the black kid to excel. Therefore, when I did the minimum amount, I was looked at as like, oh my God, he did it. You know, it's like, so it's almost like black privilege is like when you expect the unexpected type thing, where it's like, bam, got you surprise you. So for me, it was like all these things were working in my favor, right? So even athletic wise, like, I was the fastest kid in school, right? You know, and all these different, I was the best dancer at all the dances. That's black privilege, because I was born with that. It's not like I went to training like you got served.
You were born with the rhythm.
I wasn't dancing in the rain like you got served, like, you know, Marion. You know, I just was born with the dancing ability. So it was like, and so all the dancers, all the girls were like, oh my God, look at him, he's doing the worm. You ever seen in middle school The Worm? Was like pulling out.
Did you just ask me if I've ever seen The Worm? Is there anybody who has not seen The Worm?
I mean, you're a little old.
That's. Excuse me?
I'm playing.
Middle school mediation in here.
Thank you. We're going to have her all the time.
I say all that to say this, that I feel like I have to. One, I live over the bridge right now, right, in Cape Coral, and I'm pretty far removed from, like, say, a friend of mine who lives in Dunbar and who sees the oppression, like, firsthand. So I have to actually, like, really try, because I am my own bubble. My own bubble of, like, black privilege, of all the white people who love me, and I've been pulled over, maybe been racially profiled. I didn't know, I wasn't paying attention to it. I just assumed, like, just don't give me a ticket, you know, like. So for me, I have to stay connected to that story, because I know that story is real. I know that there are people who are being pulled over, who are being racially profiled. But for me, in my context, in my bubble, that's not happening to me. It's actually working for me. You know, and I feel like I feel like the black male in America is the most like schizophrenic person, because we can change at any moment. I can be like this and talk to the nice white people like this, and right, or I can be with my cousins or with my boys and like, yo, what's good, my dude? Like, nigga, what's good? You know what I'm saying?
Can I comment on that?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. No, don't be sorry. Because I agree with you. I tend to date the sweet caramel lattes and darker.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And so.
Hey, so what are you doing after this?
Hey, no, I am recently single.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, recently.
Okay, cool.
No,
cool.
but
duly noted.
He said the same thing too. He's like,
who's he?
Yeah,
my ex.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just started reference. You can't use a pronoun without naming the subject.
Hey, man. Such an educated. You are so educated.
I'm an educated black man in America.
Pronouns and.
I'm an independent black woman. Don't need no man. Go ahead.
She could both of those.
She just had 3 fingers all of a sudden.
Venezuela.
Freaking Medusa hands came out of nowhere.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
No, but he said the same thing. He's like, I'm able to, hang out with, my white friends and then hang out with my black friends and have that, like, kind of personality, like, switch, like, more flexibility in different situations.
Right.
Like, that's almost like saying, like, me hanging out with my comedians and I know, we're going to talk shit. Like, we're going to shoot the shit together. But then I can't go into work and be like, hey, your asshole smells like donkey dick. Like, I can't go and say that.
No,
like, I can say that to one of my
Where do you work? I should ask that. What kind of a job do you hold outside of
I actually work for the radio stations.
Okay.
So I'm in the promotions for Beasley Media. Yeah,
Okay.
It's pretty fun.
You're a sellout. You're a sellout then.
Can I...
Oh, whatever. Your asshole smells like donkey dick.
She can say that to you because we're not on real radio right now.
Are you syndicated? Are you all syndicated and stuff?
I am part of the street team, so I go out to events.
You like throw shirts at people and shit.
Yeah,
You're like, all right.
With the little sleeve.
So, but I want to get back to what you were talking about real quick,
Okay.
just because that's not only a black-white thing. Of course, it's for any race. So again, family. I'm not going to say the country name because then we're going to go off on a 3-minute mariachi thing.
Argentina. Go ahead.
And so, would you guys believe if I told you that my senior yearbook photo, I had straight up cornrows and like braids, like my whole head, and my nails were out to here, and I was like, I was pretty sure I was the coolest girl on the block.
I mean, you have
pretty
purple
sure
hair.
you
so
were.
I do have purple, and so because and I grew up in a well, actually, I went to high school in a predominantly Jewish town, so lots of rich white people, and then. There were the people who got bussed in. We had the blacks and Latinos, and I had groups of friends in all of them, but I was totally a like, what up, y'all, in one group, and like a, hey guys, what are we doing after school today? And the other one, like I had like 7.
Did you watch Lizzie McGuire last night?
I
Oh
forget
my God, the movie!
You see, I got him dirty with it. I do it. It's like candy to a baby,
Right, it's true. But it took a while for me to like. You kind of got to play with those personalities to figure out who's you. But like the way that my brother and I answer the phone when we talk to each other is wildly inappropriate, and I wouldn't do it with like it's
So
racially charged.
So
and
everybody code switches is what you're saying. Everybody's switching.
I think so, but and especially if you are Hispanic or black, I think that it happens.
Or a woman, because in the workplace, do you feel like, well, you work for, you're self-employed, but like when you were in a workplace or when you work with men, because all right, here's the thing, you make sexual jokes, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's hilarious, but I feel like men can get away with being one of the biggest critiques I hear about women comedians is like, oh, she's just so like. There's always talking about
Too
sex.
raunchy.
Too raunchy. Mm-hmm. But like when men do that all the time, so do you feel like there's a double standard with that? Like,
there is a double standard. Oh my gosh.
what kind of a car is that?
That's a motorcycle.
What the hell?
with the bass.
That's a red car. That's another red car. I know my cars, okay?
That's a black one.
That's an SUV.
I
That was
date
loud.
those black ones.
You know how I like black things.
You know about how I like them black ones? All right, go ahead. So you double standard in women being sexual. Do you feel like, or even in the workplace, like if you're dressed up nice, you wear like a pin skirt, whatever. Like, is that
pencil?
Like a pencil,
skirt?
yeah.
Skirt, whatever. Pen, fucking mechanical pencil skirt.
Mechanical
whatever.
pencil skirt.
Okay, I think, and we can like kind of discuss this. I think that women, actually, someone said this to me yesterday. He's like, guys judge women and women judge women. At the same time, I don't think men are looked at as scrutinily.
That's scrutinily.
We just made it up. Go with it.
You know what?
Men are as scrutinized.
Webster, add that to the dictionary. I think that women are like always just like in a, again, for lack of a better word, bubble. Like women judge women and men judge women. And it's like,
why do women judge the
with
women?
this guy,
because we're women.
We're catty. I don't know. It's stupid. I really, honestly, have tried very hard to make an effort to not a lot more as I grow older. But to the sexual point, you just made me think of something I haven't thought of in a long time. I used to work at Best Buy for many years, and I was on the leadership team. Usually, there was like 30% women and 70% men on the leadership team, and I was younger than a lot of people who worked under me, if you want to put it that way. I know I left that open for a joke. You both let it go, and that's okay.
I'm boring. Okay.
I'm busy over here.
I can't multitask.
And I'll never forget. So I will sing along to anything that's playing, and I'll rap along to anything that's playing. So it was Pop Bottles was on while we were closing the store,
and
we
then
Pop Bottles.
Flip with the hood rat, and then Pop Bottles. Hey,
right. So that was on, and we would blast it through the store while we were closing. And I was rapping the first verse, and there's some inappropriate things involving things that are said. And this guy I was closing with turns to me and goes, "Melissa, that you should never say that. Is so wrong coming out of your mouth.
Right.
You should not." And I was like, I'm tempted to go rewind the song and play, like, don't tell me what to say / do or anything ever. I can understand why that doesn't sound right, because it's a guy talking about doing something sexual to a girl. But that doesn't mean there's no, anyway,
right.
y'all know where I'm going with it.
Sure.
You just made me think of that, because that literally was workplace and
so. That also touches on something. It's like men like women that are independent and able to do their own thing. Granted.
Most.
But I think you're right. But I think that it's like over the years men have said that, but then all of a sudden at some point how comfortable men are with their own like masculinity, if a woman gets too, confident and powerful, I think not most, but there's a small corner of men that are just like, wait, like we want you to be independent and sexy, but not too sexy. Not too much. Just dial it down a bit. Well, I gotta stay like above.
What's the power struggle, right?
And it is the power struggle, and that's been like, okay, what year is it? It's been going on for a long time, like a very long time, and I think that's what people don't understand these days, that we are evolving.
There's a fucking pig outside the door.
Oh my god, a mini pig!
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's a pig. That you have a pig.
That's
man.
my dream animal.
That's your
my spirit
Is that really?
out of all.
She almost just left.
Oh my god, look!
Hold on.
Oh my god.
We're gonna put it in the screen here.
Out of all, his mouth to you.
Out of all the exotic animals in the world, the pig is her dream. The exotic elephants and zebras and fish animals and all kinds.
Oh my god. I just want a pig.
The pig, though.
I just want a pig so bad.
We can't hear you, man.
I just want a little bit.
There's glass in between. Should I do this so he knows?
Yeah.
God.
Hey, I think we're having a good conversation. I want to switch gears a little bit because I've been wanting to talk about it.
Oh, that pig.
As a comedian, I feel like one of the most underlying common denominators in all comedians, I feel like my favorite, like Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, like Richard Pryor, man, fucking legend. Yeah, Bill Burr, like one of the.
I watched one of his specials.
I love Bill Burr, or just Joey Diaz. In different fields, like all my favorite comedians, Eddie Murphy, right? Like they all have this like underlying sort of like dark part of them, right? That they sort of like pull from, right?
Yeah.
And it's interesting because a lot of the how about this? I'll just leave it open, like an open-ended question. Like, what do you feel like the same way? Do you feel like every comedian has this dark part of them that makes them funny? And two, do you have that about you as well?
Good question, actually. Yeah. I think every comedian has this little dark part of them where they pull, the funny from. I definitely know my demons. Like, 100%, totally serious. I know, it's funny. My first show I went to ever for comedy, I saw him on stage. His name's Dov Davidoff. Shout out. You still owe me a drink, by the way, Dov. Anyways,
hey, Dov, let's go.
Bro.
Dov is definitely listening.
I saw him, and his energy was so great, and he was so funny and happy, and then he gets off stage, and he just, like, turned into this, like, hermit, and he wrote in his notebook, and now I understand why he was being, thorough with his jokes, but, yeah, I agree. Every comedian, we're all fucked up, first of all.
Sure.
Every comedian you meet fucked up in some sort of way, and I'm not going to judge anyone's darkness, but there is a point of darkness where comedy comes from. It's like laughter comes from tragedy,
right? And it's like you guys are like the designated people to, like, you have this artistic license to do that, right? Like, there's these things called roast battles. I don't know if you've been watching.
Oh my god, I can't do a roast battle. I'm way too emotional. I'm like, don't make fun of me.
Melissa, have you ever seen one? They're like this new thing that Joey Diaz is doing, and it's like you literally two comedians get up on the stage together, and they just like one of them I watched. They were like, "Yeah, your brother's dead," like, and that was like the punchline. Everybody was dying. The guy that he made it, that was receiving the joke was dying laughing, and I was like, this is so broken, but it's so funny because one, I've dealt with death, and like so like my friends will be like, your mom, and I'll be like, my mom's dead, all right, and they'll be like, damn dude, I'm like, it's hilarious, but what like can you kind of counsel me here? Like, what about that is funny? Because it's not really funny, but it's hilarious for me to make that joke. I don't know why. Like, what about comedy? Comedy is like this.
I think it's the shock value. I think it's that in comedy, you know, you try and take them one way, and then it's like way over there.
Sure.
And it's that shock value where you're like, it's like that punch.
That's not supposed to be funny, but it's funny because
Yeah, it's
I
like,
said it.
oh my gosh, haha, you know. Like,
Right.
And I think it is, but I can't do the roast stuff. Like, being a woman, I think that I am emotional, and I like grew
sensitive.
Up, yeah, I am sensitive, and I understand that. So I try and deal with like the Ellen DeGeneres way. She doesn't make fun of people, and I try, except for your ex, who like is awful. You know,
That's
like
a good
that.
point.
That you know that you have the stories like.
So would you consider Ellen a comedian?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Ellen, she started
I
freaking
freaking
as
love
a
her.
stand-up
Really?
comedian. She got her
I
own
love her.
show, and then yeah, she's got these rules: just not make fun of anybody.
Have you
know, to not.
That's interesting.
Real quick, have you
Yeah.
seen the video of her and Michelle Obama shopping inside CVS?
No.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite videos. It's fantastic.
I love her because she's able to do shit like that and make it funny, but then also make a strong point. Like, she had one of these ads. It was like, you know how men's and women's razors are so different? Like, men have like the extreme razors with 5 blades, and it's like grip handle. And women's like, here's a stick with a blade. Go at it. You know?
10
Like,
handles
right?
for the closest shave. Shave your blood off.
But no, she did this whole segment on like how it's different, how it shouldn't be different, like shit like that. So I think that those going back to the roast battles, like
Yeah.
I can't, just my sensitive heart. I am a comedian. I'm funny. I think that shit is funny, but
Right.
I don't like.
So
to go
what's your
there.
darkness? How do you tap into your dark? Do you talk about your shit on stage? Like, do you ever tap into that, like, actually? Or you just kind of, like, do you ever make fun of yourself? Do you...
Yeah, self-deprecation is, I think.
It's like...
Yeah, that's another strategy. I do. I make fun of myself a lot, on and off the stage.
Right.
Like, for example, I have this one story. Who knew this talk would be so serious?
Yeah.
I have this one story
We'll go
where
there.
in college I made a really bad choice. I ended up in a bad situation where, you know, as a woman, it wasn't going to end well for me, and I ended up jumping off the balcony. 3rd story, jumping off the balcony in my high heels, landing on my feet, thank God. But yeah, it was to get out of a really bad situation, and I tell that story on stage, and it's funny.
Huh.
And it's shit like that where even going through a bad breakup, or even shit my mom has said to me like over the years, just as a child growing up, and like maybe getting bullied in school.
Yeah.
My first nickname in middle school was Bitchcock. Like, that was my first nickname in middle school. And looking back, it's funny. See, you're laughing, but when
How
I was a
did that
kid, I don't know.
No idea.
I have no clue. Like, can someone tell me what it means? Because I have no fucking clue.
If somebody from The Rock could give us a call, please.
Yeah,
and,
anybody from The Rock, the Fairport.
Lauren would like to know.
There are certain
Why
words
did you
that
call
when
me Bitchcock?
There's certain words when you put them together, it's just like
Yeah.
shit fuck. Like, what the
Like-
fuck? Like, what is that?
Like a tater fuck, you know? Like, why are you being such a fucking tater fuck?
I've never
fucking
heard that one.
Pussy Lodge, I don't know.
Did you say Lodge because you saw
Oh
Lodge
my
over
God.
there? Okay.
That's, you freestyled
No.
that shit.
I did. Oh, God.
Okay.
But that's, like,
Yeah.
kind of.
Well, I feel like some of the, I feel like whether it's comedy, creativity, artists like, you know, Kurt Cobain, you know, those high creative people, highly talented people with the greatest forms of talent have these dark backstories. Like, you know, and even for me, like, I feel like a lot of my personality, a lot of my story comes from like a dark place.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of my extroversion comes from my childhood of like you said earlier, like when you grew up, you felt like you were too much, like, and people were trying to hold you down, and that's how I felt. And so a lot of times I'm like, have this chip on my shoulder of like, you're not gonna fucking hold me back. Watch me do this shit, you know. And then
Yeah.
I'll go and do something great, and then I'm like, that sort of came out of this dark place, though. It came out of a place of me wanting to prove people wrong, that I'm not a fuck up or whatever. So I just think it's like this beautiful, dark thing that happens where you see like, wow, this person's really great. And then you hear their story like, holy shit, you came from nothing.
Yeah.
To get where you are. Like, that's wild to me, you know, to hear the backstories of like really great people. So no, I just thought that was something interesting because I feel like a lot of the comedians I love have that. Like Richard Pryor is a dark ass story.
I love
if you've
Richard
never
Pryor.
researched Richard Pryor, I think there's a documentary on him on YouTube. But like, watch anything Richard Pryor. Some of the darkest shit. Like, you know.
You know what's funny about him is that his first leg of comedy, he would do like kind of that light, fluffy stuff, and then he hit this wall where he's like, you know what? Fuck off. I'm gonna do what I really want to do, and that's when he kind of started evolving into this like. I mean, he already was a genius. We knew that it was there, but he evolved into this like. He changed the culture of comedy as well as the culture of a lot of things in this country, and that's I think every comedian's goal. That social influence, obviously in a good way. Like, you want to be able to connect with people. That social influence is, I think, really cool. The cool part about being in the, not even comedy, but like photography and DJing. Like, you're able to like kind of take this conglomerate of people and throw it and just change things for the better. I don't know. I'm so corny.
I see where you were going with that, though.
Yeah.
That was good.
Shitty. That was shitty, man. I hated that, what you just said. No, I'm playing. That was great. Seriously.
Sound like my mom.
See, that's so funny because you're probably right. Like, I don't know. I'm holding back tears right now.
Mom.
How do you like? So locally, just to bring it here locally, you're probably like, I think I've met like one or two comedians. Mm-hmm. What's the comedy scene like over here? Like, what's that?
The comedy scene here, first of all, I love the comedy scene here in a way because these people have become my friends and somewhat like my family. You know, I don't have family here in Florida, so these people, you know, we can shoot the shit and work on jokes, but then also talk about those real things, you know? Like, we all kind of understand each other. There's not much going on in the world of comedy in Southwest Florida.
Really?
And so this is why things like this, connecting and talking to people is really fun. You know, we're kind of starving for stages here, and that's what I think is important. We kind of create the rooms we work in, and we help each other a lot. You know, if you move, let's say a comedian moves from here to LA, it's going to be a completely different story. Like in LA, you get 2 minutes stage time open mic, which is chance for, you know, however many jokes you got in 2 minutes, and then here it's like you have like average 6 minute stage time for open mics, which gives you a lot of room to work.
That's a lot. So that's a lot of room for a comedian. 6 minutes.
Yeah, I would say so for an open
because
mic.
the best comedians have an hour special, so that kind of
takes years to get to an hour. Yeah, and that's what I don't think a lot of people understand that whether you know they want to or not, but. I had to learn this the hard way. When I first started, I was like, you know what, this is going to be great. In 6 months, I'm going to be making money, and blah, 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 like thinking like that way. As a new, like I didn't understand how you get like a whole joke. The joke could be this long, and then you have to rework it, and it turns into this long, and then you have to rework it, and it turns into a sentence, and then you have to worry about the inflection of your voice in the sentence and the order of that joke with other jokes.
I want to stop you there. What is the components of a comedy, like or like stand up, like? So you obviously delivery, like that's the only thing I can think of. Like what else when you're thinking of a joke? Like what are some of the main components of a joke that you're like, okay, I got to get this down.
Okay, the main components of a joke, scientifically,
right,
is you have the premise, which is the idea of the joke. You want to be able to, you know, that's the underlying what you think of, and then you also have the setup, which is kind of like telling the story, kind of the build up to the punchline, which is the haha, the laugh. So you get that punchline, and then also after the punchline, or even in between during that all, you have different tags. So tags are kind of like the small jokes where you're like, and then the punchline's like, bah!
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, and then also, gotcha, bitch. So the average laugh you want to get within a minute. Let's say you have a minute. You want to get laughs 8 to 10 seconds. That is the sign. There's an algorithm to comedy.
Wow.
Yeah, but. The thing is that there is an algorithm, but you also have to have the stage presence and, you know...
some of the natural things, some of the things that just...
Yeah, so it goes back to this whole thing, not just with comedy. You can be talented and not work hard, or you can be not talented and work hard.
Say that again, just for the people.
For the people, okay.
Because I have a lot of friends that and me. I need to hear that. Say that again.
Okay, so you could be given all the talent in the world. You could do nothing with it and go nowhere.
Wow.
Or you could be the person that has no talent for this, but you could grind your ass off,
work the fuck off.
Work the fuck off.
Work
and
the
work
fuck
and
off.
work to the point where you're good at it
Yeah.
and you master it and,
Wow.
and you can go somewhere with it. So it just kind of, it's that whole thing where like, just fucking work hard and do it.
Either
you know?
way,
like,
either way you gotta work for it.
Either way, you
Imagine-
have to work for it.
Imagine if you're the one who has the talent and works
And-
hard.
Shit.
Those
That's
are the people
where
who you
Richard
get to know
Pryor,
about.
You get Robin
Those
Williams,
exactly.
you get Jim Carrey.
That's
like,
the greats,
the
right?
greats.
The people
They
who was
have
like,
all
damn,
of
you were
it.
born with this shit. But also your worth ethic is fucking crazy. And,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm working on, is because I know, like, in a non-prideful way, actually, in a prideful way, like I have like these natural gifts, like that people are like, how the fuck do you just wake up and do that, right? Like, I'm like, I don't know, bitch, that's what I do, right? And then the hard work is like, yeah, but like you could be at this level, like even when I'm DJing, like for example, you know, friends like Melissa have been like, dude, like you could take it to the next level. You have these skills that I just do that naturally. Like people go, man, you did it. Like, you know, a bride will text me after the wedding, be like, oh, you did a great job. But like, there's also like a bunch of things that I didn't do that I could have done, because I just did that. That was like out of natural talent. Like, so for me this year, I've been really working on like, what are the things that other DJs are doing nationally that are like hardworking, like worth ethic, consistency, you know, responsibility. A lot of these things like responsiveness, a lot of these things that will take me to the next level is like, I gotta fucking do this. Like if I'm gonna really be at the place where Melissa's telling me that I should be, that I am, I'm like, let me get there. Let me work for that shit, you know. Or even this podcast or anything I do, it's like there's a natural inclination for me to like want to do it because of the recognition I'm gonna get or whatever. But there's also this part of me that needs to work really fucking hard and be disciplined and consistent. Those things are fucking hard. Consistency, discipline, follow up. That shit is hard.
But they're so rewarding once
Yeah.
you've done them, and you
Yeah.
just have to do. You just have to do it, and you're doing it. You just have to keep doing it. It's,
You know, no one sees the hard work. As a
Nobody.
swimmer, no one came to my practices and was like, go, go, go. No one was in the stands. Like, just like you go on a stage and no one there. I went to a show last week. There was 2 people in the audience, but I fucking rocked it out like there was 100. And I'm sure with photography, and there's challenges like that where it's like you have to put the hard work in. No one will notice your hard work, but it has to be done. Point blank, period.
people
If you
tend
want-
to. It's sorry.
No, go, no, sorry.
People
I'm a talker.
for some as
I'm a
as
hugger.
we all are.
I'm a hugger. Lame. Go ahead.
I don't know why it's human nature for us to assume that people just like got to where they are overnight when someone and we have this like that jealousy factor. I feel like I've told you about. I have this good friend of mine who's up in Boston, who's a producer for a radio station and a big time DJ now, who travels the world and knows all these famous artists and blah blah blah, and works with them and is fantastic. But I remember when I was maybe 13, 14 years old, before I even knew who he was, and he's probably like 42-ish or something right now, and I was leaving a Celtics game, and I bought a mixtape off of him for $5. And then I became friends with him like a decade later, and I realized it was the same person, and I was like,
that's
shit,
so
dude,
cool.
I bought a mixtape off. He goes, yeah, I used to wake up every morning and take, I don't remember how many, 20, whatever, mixtapes with me and leave. And I would not let myself go home until I sold all of them every single day. And now all of a sudden that I'm big and I've got all the followers on Instagram and I've got this, that, or the other, people want to be like, oh, bro, like, you know, want to be like all jealous and you know, whatever. And they don't know the hard work that went into it. And I'm like, why do we naturally do that? You know, it's so weird.
Yeah. No. Hey, we're getting to under an hour here. I just want to ask you real quick before we go. This is not serious at all. What's your fucking take on Trump? Like, I just want to know, like, what the fuck?
Oh no, we're not in Naples.
We're not in Naples. Okay,
we're not
listen.
Naples. We're in fucking Fort Myers. I just want
If
to know.
we could set a building on fire, listen. Okay, hold on. Okay. If we could set a building on fire and light him on fire and then throw him in it
Oh,
and then
shit.
light it on fire again.
Oh.
It's a lot of fire.
I feel like that wouldn't be enough.
Did that hurt your heart?
Literally, the
Are you
government.
okay?
No, the government is watching now.
I
so
don't
I
care.
am Malik Adigan. I am a black man in America, and I do not approve that message because I love Trump.
Don't lie.
No,
Don't
you
lie.
don't.
Don't lie.
No, gosh, okay. I don't.
All hail Trump.
You. Oh my! What is wrong with you?
Oh, that was a little weird.
Yeah,
Stung.
because you're
Stung
lying.
a bit.
I'm so disappointed in you, Malik.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
so disappointed in you. So I
I'm
I
playing.
hear you. That's.
I don't think, like, what happened? Like, why?
Well, the biggest
What are
question.
you doing?
Why?
What is happening?
Why did you do that? Like, I voted for, Bernie. Like, I wrote him in.
Sure,
I just,
sure.
like, fuck this shit.
Yeah,
Bring him back.
whatever.
Like, God, it just goes back to the 3 words I live by, or I try to. Be nice
Be nice.
to everyone. Those are 4 words.
Be nice.
Be nice.
I was
to
like, first of all, be nice is 2
4
words.
2 words.
To everyone's
Four
forward.
words. Sorry,
Comedians
I
don't know
messed up.
language.
Exactly, we don't. That's why we're the ones that laughed at.
But
that
isn't
are
it
laughed
perfect
at.
for comedy though? Isn't he perfect for you guys? Like, or because
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle said that.
don't know.
Dave
It's
Chappelle in an
so
interview,
controversial.
He said that Donald Trump has actually created some redundancy in comedy because it's like, yeah, it's fucking easy to make fun of Trump, and that's all people are talking about, and then they all tell him the same joke.
See, that's the jokes can get tired, and that joke got tired like 6 months ago.
Well, SNL. Played him out.
they're like not, but like little small communities like this where I see, a lot of comedians here have stopped telling jokes about him because everyone's so tired. We want to be distracted from it, so I'll talk about pussy and stuff like that.
Right.
instead
No
of
one's
Trump.
distracted
Like-
from pussy ever.
Right? I know.
Never get tired of that.
Okay, I got a question for both of you guys.
Big dick.
Oh man,
I
I
am
feel
a
great.
clean comedian.
No, you're not.
I
No, you're
don't
not.
tell dirty
Who
jokes.
cares? All right, I have a question for both of you before you go. What would you tell anybody who is listening that lives in Southwest Florida that wants, Melissa, you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business for a while, you're doing great, you're killing it. And Lauren, you're a comedian, you're doing your thing, you obviously you're killing it, creatively. What would you say to anyone that wants to start their dream job, their career? They want to get into comedy, they want to get into, they want to start music. What kind of advice would you give to someone who is trying to start something in Southwest Florida, who feels discouraged or encouraged, but like what would you say to them? I don't know who wants to go
Would
first.
you like to go first?
Hey, ladies first. Bitch, you don't know what it is. You're both ladies.
Yo, I ain't a lady. I'm a bad bitch. What?
I'm a bad bitch, so I'm gonna go second.
I think you're. I'm the guest host,
You're
right?
the guest host.
So you're the guest. So I think
Okay.
guest first, and then I'll go.
Okay.
So you go.
No, how about this? No, you go first. You go first.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
why?
She wasn't ready. All right, fine. You go first. You go first.
yeah, okay.
You're whiter than her, so you have
what-
more privilege. Go ahead.
She's whiter than
I blend into a pale
You said
wall.
Venezuela earlier.
I
my
was outside-
pigmentation is a problem. I'm like a ghost. Okay,
damn.
go ahead.
Ghost of Venezuela past.
So what was the question? What is
what
what
advice
is
would
the
you give
advice
to someone like you, a younger you, or you
Ooh.
that's trying to do what you're doing or do something along the lines of what you're doing or whatever?
Okay, so just fuck it and do it.
Shit.
Just don't fuck it and do it. Fuck it and do it. Just like see, this is where
So,
my jokes come from. What I'm saying
Fuck it
is
and do
you.
But don't. But
You
do.
have to remember that it is your life to live. It is not anybody else's around you. If you want to make a change in your life that is positive and that will be more you, do it. Point blank, period. You have to do it. You have to learn that you have to compromise in your life. You have to give some shit up. I'm sorry. I've recently learned I can't date. I won't date because I'm married to comedy now.
I was gonna ask you on a date after this.
oh my god.
You already asked her on a date.
Yeah, I know.
But those are the
Exceptions.
things.
Exceptions.
You have to be able to wake up at 5:30 in the morning and go work out like a champ if
Yeah.
you want to be the best at your sport. You have to be able to sit down and write for 3 hours if you want to make the next screenplay. And you have to be able to realize that you're not gonna do work on Instagram liking everyone's pictures and going on Facebook. I'm looking at you.
She's
going
looking
on
at the-
Facebook every day and scrolling for 3 hours. You're not gonna get anything done.
Damn, girl, preach.
Like, seriously, go out and fucking do it. Who cares if you have to, like, have a roommate for the rest of your life? Just But seriously, though, what I'm saying is that you can't be scared to fail.
Wow.
And I was a teacher once, and they said failing is the first attempt in learning. And it's corny, but it's true.
No, failure is an education.
If you never fail, then you never try.
Yeah.
Period.
And I'll piggyback off that. You said a little bit of what I was going to say, but it's all connected. You can be afraid to fail. That's okay. You just have to use that fear to motivate you.
No fear.
That's good.
Yeah,
I
like
think
it.
that being driven by the right things. So for me, positivity and gratitude are huge. You know, I'm grateful every day for the opportunity to wake up at whatever time I want to do what I love, and I still get up. Usually if I get up at 7 a.m. I feel like I'm being lazy. I feel like I've gotten up too late because I know I work best in the morning, and I know that I have to discipline myself to do that. So I think the overall message that I've been giving people who want to achieve something big, and especially something for themselves, is you have to realize that you're not going to get to where you want to get to without working probably triple as hard as you think you have to. You're going to walk into this thing saying, oh, I can do this because I'm already good at it. I was already a good photographer. I already had the equipment to do it for the most part. Why couldn't I just go do it? Dude, this shit is hard. Yeah. And every day, it's 10 to 12 to 14-hour days every day. I remember like 6 months ago when a good friend of mine and she had started her business around the same time as me, and we were sitting and talking, and we both at the same moment realized we had no idea the last time we'd actually had a day off. Wow. There's no such thing as a day off. And you're
self-employed.
Right. When you're self-employed, there is no such thing as a day off. Can you take a vacation? Do you have the freedom to do what you want when you want to do it for the most part? Yes. But do you get days off? Absolutely not. Wow. But I would have it no other way. And you have to know, you have to just know that being an entrepreneur is not like the cool thing to do. And so I can just do it because that's like, if she's doing it, I can do it. Wow. I'm sorry, not everybody's built to be an entrepreneur. So you just have to know your strengths and then friggin' run with them.
I met with a comedian, Becky Robinson, who's killing it. She's on Wild 'N Out. She's national touring, crazy cool comedian. I had lunch with her the other summer, which is very thankful. She said,
the other summer,
last summer, and she said, you have to work harder than everybody else around you. Wow. Period. So like true. That's just kind of adding on to that, you know, just
period, like full stop. That's it.
Yeah.
You just have to work really effing hard, harder than you ever thought you could. And God, it is so rewarding. It's so hard but so rewarding.
So either way, you know, the result is greatness. But in between there's some level of skill and some level of hard work.
Yes.
And whatever it is, you got to balance. You got to.
Yes. And to my point of positivity and gratitude real quick is because you are going to hit roadblocks on an almost daily basis that are going to make you feel bad. Like I can work an 8-hour day and look back and be like, what the fuck did I do today? Like I didn't.
Emails.
Yeah.
I emailed. I had 3 phone calls. I dropped a thing off to a person and I edited, and I didn't do half the shit on my to-do list. But I'm positive because I know what I did do well, and I'm grateful that I get to wake up and do it again tomorrow.
It's almost like being methodical with your work too. Like taking one task at a time, checking it off. Okay, next.
Oh my God, when I check something off, it could be I write shit on my to-do list that I just did that wasn't on the list to check it off. Straight up. I do. High five. Thank you.
Oh shit!
I love it.
Girl power.
By the way, can I just say we showed up matching and we didn't even know?
Is that like red for like period blood?
That's.
And we're ending this.
Thanks for joining us today, Lauren Dufault.
It's been a pleasure.
It was great having you.
And on that note,
well,
bye.
Hey, seriously, Lauren, it's really good to meet you. I'm gonna come to one of your shows soon.
Yeah.
Is there any way that people can reach you? How do people get a hold of you? They got any shows coming up?
So my number is. I'm just kidding.
So my number is 555.
1, 2, 3. You can find me on social media, Lauren Dufault, Dufault.
Default.
Yeah, Dufault with a U instead of an E.
Okay.
I have Instagram, Facebook. I have a comedy page. I don't have a website yet because I'm not.
I do websites.
Not at that point yet.
He does really good websites.
On our date, we could talk about that, right?
You think I'm playing? You think I'm playing? But it's gonna happen. All right, cool.
Awesome.
Oh my God. Yeah, you find me on social media.
You got any shows, or you use like off the Hook Comedy Club? Is that every month, every week?
They have an open mic but we have another comedy club called Laugh-In. So you know, I love stalking comedians when they go on the weekends. I'm like, can I have 5 minutes?
So with Curate, I would love to do like a comedy showcase. Do you
Yeah.
You have like
Actually, we have a show coming up April 14th at Old Soul Brewery.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first comedian showcase that I'm running. It's going to be run by me.
Shit.
Yes. Yeah. So I have my comedians lined up for the first show.
Damn, you killed it.
Yeah. So
That's awesome.
Okay,
we could do something there if you
Congratulations.
Or, yeah, either way, I would love to support that. Just like get behind it, get everyone to
do a
go.
little shout out. Or
so
something.
when is that? When is that?
April 14th, 8 p.m. Old Soul Brewery.
April 14th. I'm gonna push that shit. So April 14th, Old Soul
Free.
Brewery. Shouts out to Old Soul.
It's free.
Free. Cool.
No money.
Yeah.
That's the day before my party.
What comedians?
We can make that the body.
We will transfer everyone over.
All right.
What comedians are there? Do you know?
Back to local community. We have Nathan Wallace. We have Sheena Regan. We have local community Luke Trotta, and we have our one North Doug Caney. So we got a
lot of white guys. A lot of white people. Huh?
Oh, you know.
Sheena's black. Definitely.
Sheena's not black.
Sheena black.
Hey,
Hey,
Sheena.
Sheena big. I'm going to tell you some jokes.
She's going to watch this.
Slavery
and
is
laugh.
real.
Oh my god.
We
What's
are
wrong with
done.
you?
Well, I've had a
that
lot
note,
of beer.
Times two.
Hey, Lauren, no, seriously, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
You're a refreshing person to talk to. Thank you so much. You're fucking hilarious.
You're awesome sauce.
Seriously, I know I'm pretty awesome. So we're going on a date. And
Thanks.
Melissa, this is you're gonna be on the show.
Yes!
So,
I made it. Sorry, I was really excited.
High five.
No, I'm really excited. Thank you guys both for being on the show. I really appreciate you as people, as humans, as women, as creatives, as entrepreneurs, and on every level. So thank y'all both.
Thanks. We appreciate you too.
And thank you.
Heart emoji.
Yeah, heart emoji. Thank you for listening to the Curate Podcast. Tune in next week. I love you guys. Millennial, thank you for the beer. Narrative Coffee, thank you for the coffee.
She is.
Love you guys.
She is.
She's gone. You're
Peace
gone.
Yeah.
out, y'all. We out here.
Bye bye.
Peace.